Hi, my name's Eileen, and this is my first video for U.S. Government and Speech class at Miami Valley. And going into this class, I really didn't have a good understanding of what politics was. I'd taken U.S. government in the past, so I had an understanding of the basic history of our country, but I didn't really know what the politics portion was. And I'm starting to get a better understanding and starting to grasp what it really is. And that happened ever since we learned our definition of politics, which is the authoritative allocation of values. And what really stood out to me about this definition is the term values. And the reason is because whenever there's an action, you can see the person's values through the ending result. So, for instance, when you take our government, you can see the result of a government reflects the values of the people that put it together. And this is visible when we see how our founding fathers came to America. They had seen how democracies didn't work because when people started just voting for what they wanted, it wasn't equal, and then it caused people to get in fights because no one agreed. It caused everyone just because people who were uneducated were voting for what they wanted, and then the end result may not have been what was best for the country. And then we see in dictatorships how when that one person just runs the country, it's what the one person wants, and which typically isn't what's best for the people. But we see when our founding fathers came to America, they decided that they were going to look at history. They were going to see what happened, and they were going to learn basic values in order to form a government that would be pleasing and beneficial to the people. And the people that they looked at were ancient and more recent philosophers, a mixture of the two. And what these people did is they looked for truth. They looked for what really worked. And some of these people were Aristotle, Cicero, Locke, and Hobbes. And these people took their time to understand what went wrong in the past. And that's where people in our government did it correctly. They went and they formed their foundation by learning about values. They learned what didn't work, what did work, what was best for the people. And this is also beneficial to us because if I have horrible values, then I'm not going to have good ending results in my life. So if I think, oh, I don't value school, I hate school, I don't want to do it, then I'm not going to do well and I'm going to fail. And then Aristotle, he did a deeper study into it, and he figured out that there can be good forms of any government, that there are monarchies, aristocracies, and polities. And monarchies are ruled by one person, aristocracy by a few people, and polity by many people. And each of those, if they have the right foundation, then they can be very beneficial and work for the benefit of the people. But if they get a corrupt leader, someone who doesn't have good values and has not done their research and just wants what's best for them, then it doesn't end well. So for instance, with a monarchy, if that one person, if he wants what he wants and he doesn't listen to the people and he doesn't care, then it's going to end in tyranny because it's just going to be bad. Because people aren't going to get what they want, they're going to revolt, and it's going to be a huge mess in the end. And then we've seen that in the past with dictatorships, with Hitler. At first it was great, everyone loved Hitler, he was doing everything perfectly, he was pleasing the people, but then in the end he started killing people, he started getting people to try and be on his side and making them be Nazis, and everything just ended badly. And that's why we were so fortunate to have people that did their research to set those values to see the result. And an instance that I've seen in class is we have to have good values and foundation behind the way we learn. And I kind of saw an example of this when we started reading our book, which I have right here. And we were like, this book's so boring, it's not interesting, it's just stupid, it's so teachy and preachy. But we didn't have the good values behind why we were learning it that we couldn't understand it. So if you look at it from that way, from the foundation that I want to learn, and I'm using the resources of this book to learn about government, learn how to speak, and learn how to be a better individual and how to look at the history for my future, then things work out better. If you're looking at it from the right way, then you'll benefit from it. And that's one of the things that I've learned and I'm starting to apply, that if we have the good foundation for what we want to do, then the results will be exactly how they want them to be, give or take a little bit. But that's what I've started to see, and it all comes back to our definition of politics, which is the authoritative allocation of values.